welcome to another plan with me. Let me know if everything's working correctly. I changed my camera setup, so I'm hoping that it's gonna show up. So just let me know. Hope everyone is having a good day today. I love how everyone showed up in the chat a little bit early and are talking about what you're all gonna do today, which is very exciting. I love that you're all organizing your desks. I have so much to do in my planner today. I don't know if I'll get through everything that's on my list, so it's gonna be jam-packed, hopefully. And if I don't get everything done, I'll just save it for another plan with me that we do, or if Megan does another planner party. Yeah, so I guess I'll just jump right in. I gotta grab some of my supplies and stuff. But if you are working in your planners today, I would love to hear what you're working on. I'll probably be jumping kind of all over my planner today because I have quite a bit I would like to get done. I did leave out my new micro number stickers because I think I'm going to date at least the January calendar today, because I've been waiting until I had these stickers to date it, so I haven't been able to fill very much in. But let's just get started. First time joining, welcome. Sounds like Megan's gonna do a planner party in February, which is perfect. Love that. If there's anything that anyone wants to see or talk about, just let me know. On my last live, I showed I had penciled in my goals, and then for an Instagram video, I colored it all in, so now you guys can see my goals are all done and colored in. Very excited about them. And I finished a book. I finished 2 books, so this is the first thing I'm going to do is add the book I just finished. Has anyone else finished any books in 2026? I feel like I've had a bit of a slow start to the year, but part of that is because I am I'm listening to our book club book, which is Bury Our Bones in Midnight Soil, and it's really long, and I'm taking my time with it, so I haven't really been able to do too much. Do the micro numbers fit the weekly part of the undated? So, I mean, they do fit, but they won't cover the full gray circle. There will be a border of gray around it, but it fits nicely in the circle, if that makes sense. I can show you when I get to that part. I finished 3, and I'm set to finish 1 more today. Finished 1. 1.5. Also not speed reading Bury Our Bones. Yeah, I'm trying to take my time with it. I love V. Schwab's writing, so I'm trying to just immerse myself. And because I started the book so much earlier, I feel like I have time. But the fable is so confusing, trying to figure out what chapter you're on. Anyways, I finished a hockey romance. I think it's book 4 in the series. I read the first 3 last year, and I really liked the first 2. I didn't love the 3rd one, so I took a break before coming to the 4th one, and I read it, and I thought it was really cute. I found Barrier Bones for $5. That's amazing. It's also like so new. It's crazy. I went to the bookstore yesterday. It was my first time going in 2026, which I realized it's like 11 days in, so that means like nothing. But I found a bunch of good books, and I'm very excited for them. And then I came home and reorganized my bookshelves. What did you think of The Housemaid? I read it in like 2 days. I also read it really quickly. I did the audio, which I really liked. I thought it was fun. I can see why it became as popular as it did. I don't think it's like the best writing, but it was suspenseful and enjoyable. I'm excited to check out the movie. I think I gave it like 4.25 stars. I thought it was pretty good. I went in with like 0 expectations though, which I think helped. I haven't done anything on my bookshelves. I think I'm gonna do a whole separate thing for that. I'm also trying to decide if I want to still do the like spines of the books this year. I've done it for the last like, I want to say like 5 to 6 years, and I love how it looks at the end of the year, but it's so much work to do it. And so I was toying around with like either coloring by genre or coloring by star rating, which I think would be really fun. But I know everyone loves the spines, so I'm kind of torn on doing it again or not. Thank you. I actually just painted them today. And I tried to match the blue of January. I didn't quite nail it, but it's close. Book series tracker. I can put that one in. I think the star rating for the bookshelf is such a cool idea. You don't see it that often. But like the people pleaser in me thinks that a lot of people would be sad if I didn't do the like spines of the books. And I wonder if I would be sad. I don't remember the name of the color. I'll put it in the Discord at the end. I think it's something Teeny Bikini. Something like that. It's by Essie. Could also color by page count. That would be fun as well. Oh, you guys are so nice. I think it is, like, part of it is, like, I think people would be sad, but I think I worry I would also be sad, so I'm gonna give it some time before I decide for sure. I need a color. What color do I want to do? Let's just do something simple and do blue. I decided for this year too not to bring any of my series from my last planner over into this planner, and I'm just gonna like fill in if I either start a series or like pick up a series from last year and see how that goes for me. So like very quickly penciled in some quotes. They're like so messy. We're gonna actually ink them in for now. My goal with the quotes, last year I like kind of pushed myself to fill the quotes because before I never really did. And so I did like a quote from any 4-star book or above. And if I didn't have one that stood out, I didn't include it. But I tried to find one. And I'm going to do that again this year because I really like looking back and seeing all the quotes that I pick out from books. I've seen people do like first lines, which I think is really clever. And I've seen people just put like memories, or I've seen book dedications. That one's also really fun. I think there's so many different uses. I've also seen people put just like stickers they collect over the year, which is really fun. I always like seeing people kind of change the purpose of a page, which is on my plans today actually, is to update a couple of pages to things that I want to track. So hopefully I can get to those. Also, if I'm like writing and you ask me a question and I don't see it, just ask it again when I'm not. Sometimes you guys are chatty and I miss things. The other thing is that when I am reading, I don't really like keep track of quotes like as I'm reading, because I read across all different formats and I don't usually have the time to, unless something like really stands out for me. But when I finish a book, will go back, and on Goodreads, if you like scroll to the bottom of a book page, it will have a thing that says quotes, and it like lists quotes that people have highlighted or like submitted for that book, and then I like go through and pick one that I think I like or resonates with me, or one that like stands out. It's like the only good thing about Goodreads. So if you want to do quotes but like don't want to keep track while you're reading, that's always an idea too. How's everyone's weather today? We have a very gray, dreary day. We're supposed to get like freezing rain and snow all day, which is gross. But luckily, I don't have anywhere to be today, so I'm just staying home in my sweatpants and working in my planner, and then watching football tonight and working on my blanket. Forgot to take out my I missed that. What was the dedications? The dedications was to put dedications instead of quotes. Just a different idea. You said I did the 12 magical nights. Are you okay with sharing the wish you ended up with? I can. Remind me when I get to my weekly spreads, because I like taped it in there, so I can show you then. I take pictures of quotes as I'm reading. I do that too. If something really sticks out with me, I'll like either screenshot if I'm on my phone, or just like take a picture with my phone. The tricky one is if I'm audio, then I can't really do that. I saw this quote in The Housemaid and it made me laugh, so I had to include it. I think of all the months, January is my favorite, like, work-wise. because everyone is so excited about their planners, and it just like makes me so happy to see all of the creativity and like passion and like everyone sharing and talking to each other and like talking through ideas and planner parties. And just, it's so fun to, everyone is like so hyped about it. First time joining, hi, welcome. What pen? I am using this Tombow brush pen. I'm not gonna even attempt to say the name. I believe it's Korean, but I will put it in the chat so you can type it. Let me just reach here, sorry. This is gonna be awkward. My computer is so far away. Okay, there is the name of the pen. It's my favorite brush pen. I use it all the time in my planner. And the other pen you'll frequently see me using is this Pentel Energel In-Free pen. It's my like how I like do like normal pen writing. Those are my two favorites. Anyways, done with quotes for now. Can move on. This page, pre-orders, I decided I'm going to change this year for me because I don't personally pre-order books. I just love going to the bookstore on release day and getting the book myself like in my hands. So I'm going to change this, but I'm not going to do it right now because I have other things I want to do. And I'm also going to change the author backlist because last year I did absolutely horrible on backlists, and I'm gonna change this. That's my like main goal for today, but I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm gonna finish other things. And then the last one I'm gonna change is the books to reread. I'm gonna change that one too. But anyways, I'm gonna get here. Movie tracker. Scott and I just watched Jaws. If you're in the Discord, I think we were talking about it. We had both never seen it before, and one of our goals for this year is to watch all of the like cult classics that we missed. And so we're kind of slowly working through those. But anyways, we watched Jaws, and I gotta say, I'm not really sure what the hype is. It was fine. I'm also not gonna I don't really do star ratings for movies anymore. So I'm just gonna put that we watched it as a way to keep track. And we will keep going. E-tracker. I already watched and finished and loved Heated Rivalry, but now I'm making Scott watch it with me, so I'm going to put that in again to track it. I absolutely love that this show has become this like sensation for so many reasons. I think it's like deserving to be as hyped as it is. But also I just love it because it's like super Canadian. Like the director's Canadian. I think it was filmed in Canada. It like can't be nominated for like certain awards because it's so Canadian, which just like is sad that they won't be able to be like nominated. But I also just like love that this like Canadian show is getting so much love right now. Usually I do my episodes split, but because this only has 6 episodes, I'm gonna just put it in. I'm just gonna break my own rules. Anyways, last night we watched the first episode And so I'm going to just mark that one. I don't know why I picked blue, but that's what we're going with. I haven't had any 5-star reads yet. I'm also not going to put anything on my A to Z yet because I like to build up some books first before I decide. And I'm also not going to put anything on here, but I'm going to just pencil what could be if I decide. That way I can keep track. Sometimes I like to switch things around if they fit multiple prompts, or if I find one that I think fits better. I'm gonna do the same here. I usually don't start putting pictures in until March or so. Not gonna fill any of this in. I did pencil in adapted to screen, but I do need to fill in the book that I just finished for Tetris. We did these on my last live, and they're two of my favorite pages in the planner. Red Romance. I love seeing how all the different options people come up with Tetris. I saw someone do how many days it took them to read the book, which is so clever. And then I also saw someone do page count, which is also really fun. I saw someone do chores, and I saw someone do self-care, and I just think it's really fun. I was tempted to add another one of the Tetris in because I have it as a printable. I also thought about doing a romance specific bingo, so I'm still toying around with those ideas. Because they're both printables, they're just easy to add in separately. I do need to fill these in. I didn't do either of them. Last year I did the background color as the genre, and then put the format stickers over top. And I'm going to do that again because I think the colors were really fun. I also like doing the lives because I feel like you guys get to see how slow I actually am at filling in my planner, because whenever I do reels on my Instagram, I have to speed it up to try and fit everything in one video. But it actually takes me a long time. I'm doing something else completely unrelated to books. I'm doing time shared with people, friends, date night, my family. I love that idea. I've never seen that one before. Background color is the month red and the sticker. Oh, I like that idea too. That's fun. See, you guys are just so creative. I love when you guys just come up with all these cool ideas, and then you share them, and people either use the idea or kind of piggyback off of it and come up with their own idea based on that. Love it. I think I forgot to take out my format stickers, so we're gonna have to rearrange here for a minute. See if I can find them. I think they're here. These stickers, it's wild to me just how popular they have become in the shop. We can almost never keep them in stock, which is a great problem to have, don't get me wrong. but you guys seem to really like them, which is amazing. So we did audio for that one and ebook. Need a purple one. I always try and like match the color of the sticker to like the color of the cover if I can, as close as possible. Just for fun. Makes sense in my brain. I also think I set this up last live. This year I'm doing something really simple. I'm just doing did you read, yes or no, and then putting a star when I finished a book, just as like a fun little different way of tracking. This year I'm not really tracking pages read other than on like a monthly wrap up level, but I'm so far very excited. But I don't have anything to like add to it today. Then I have my 26 books. I did read one of them so far, and then when I finish Bury Our Bones, I'll have another one. I realize I need to read like a couple a month in order to finish this, like 2 to 3 every month, so I'm trying to keep that in mind to stay on track, because last year I did really well in the beginning and then I kind of fell off and I didn't end up finishing it. So this year I'm excited to see how far I can get. Then I have my little trackers that I add in. So we have my like rate my day and my temp tracker, which the temperature tracker ended up being like one of my favorites randomly. I just loved seeing the like color mapping. And then I do a health tracker and a fitness tracker, which I love, and that leads me into January. As I mentioned, I haven't dated my calendar yet because I was waiting for my stickers to show up, so I'm going to quickly do that. I got these like little tweezers today to see if I can make it easier on myself, but I don't know if they're actually going to help me or not, so we're gonna see. But I thought it might be fun for placing stickers. I've had a couple of people ask about these stickers, and their purpose was for the calendars. That is what they were designed for. You can use them on the dated calendars to cover the numbers if you place them like kind of correctly, if you wanted to like add some color to those pages. They won't cover the weekly numbers on the dated, like the weeklies. The numbers are too big. And on the undated, it won't cover the full gray circle. You'll have like a border of gray around it. But I think it's gonna look so cute with the colors. I mostly made these stickers for myself because I knew I was gonna use the undated this year, and so I was just like, okay, I need number stickers. And also, like, a lot of people tell me that they don't want to like sit down and like number. They don't like their hand lettering, or they like don't want to take the time to do it. And I just thought stickers were like kind of a fun little way of doing it. Who doesn't love stickers? So, and of course they have to match the color of the month because we love a matchy moment over here. Honestly, like, making things for myself is what started this whole company, because I wanted a bookish planner and they didn't exist at the time. So I was like, I'm just gonna make one for me. And then here we are, like, I don't know, 10 years later or something like that. I think we're coming up on, like, the 2027 planner, I think, might be our 10th planner, which is crazy. I don't think the tweezers are necessary, but they're kind of fun to use. Makes me feel extra precise. You could just sit down and like date your whole planner all in one go, but I like to do 1 month at a time. So I'm only gonna do January for now, but I could always make a video. I was tempted to like time it to see how long it takes to date the planner. Does anyone have any exciting plans for the rest of their day? I do not. I had a lazy morning. I had some tea and did some work on my puzzle, and then got ready for my live, and then I have football after this, and I'm gonna try and work on some of my hobbies while I watch. So I'm gonna do some crocheting, might do some coloring. I also have to finish a Lego set that Scott bought me. So today's just gonna be like a self-care day, and then tomorrow we're like jumping into like packing all the orders from yesterday, which if you placed an order yesterday, thank you so much. It was lovely. So today is my like get ready. My puzzle is like, it's kind of this whole like fantasy scene, but like they're broken into like different rooms. I'll have to send a picture in the Discord later, just remind me. But anyways, here is the little numbers. Does that not look adorable? Like, cutest thing you've ever seen. A little bit obsessed. And it makes me really excited to date the rest of the months. So I like to use my calendar for like personal things. And I also color coordinate. So holidays and birthdays are this like teal color. Personal things are in pink. And then I do all of my work things in orange. And I'm gonna have to wait to add a couple of things till after this live, because I don't want to give anything away for what we have planned for the rest of this month, but it's gonna be an exciting one. But that's how the calendar's looking for now. I think it's super cute. Got my books to read. I'll show you my weeklies, because I think sometimes people don't know what to do with the undated, which there's so many options. So like the way I do it isn't necessarily the way that you need to do it. But this is what I do. I use this side to like keep track of important things that are going on in that day, whether it's like work, personal, or just like kind of a I want to remember this, or just for fun. And then I put like my weekly to-do list, and then I track my meals and my fitness. I do a highlight and low light. I'm still playing around with how I want to track my reading this year. So for now, I've kind of like played around with like when I finish and start a book kind of thing. And then I put like what I'm watching that week. And then I track 3 habits, which is my scraps, which I'll show you in a second. And then the 1 second clip that I'm trying to do every single day. And then whether or not I took my vitamins. That's kind of what it looks like. Then Megan asked about my intention. It was, I'm not afraid of showing love and vulnerability, which is a big one for me. So it was actually really apt that that was my intention for 2026. And it's something I'm really pushing myself for this year. What do you do for the side in the calendar section? Nothing. used to track like what the colors meant, but now I've been doing this for so long that it works for me. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I'm still kind of playing around with what I want to do. It might be like a monthly checklist, like things I need to accomplish in that month, which I think is what it will end up being, just because I tend to think kind of further ahead. So, most likely that's what it will be. Anyways, and then this is my current week that we're on right now. So it is kind of the same, where I'll have like things that I need to do like on a particular day, but then sometimes it's just like something that I need to like keep track of, and sometimes it's just like for fun. Like I'm trying to do a little bit of, I don't want to call it like junk journaling, but like a little bit of that this year, because I did it a little bit last year, kind of like a scrapbooking thing, and I really loved how personal it made it. So trying to do that again this year. But I have just like my checklist, again, meals and fitness, and then this time I put like what I was carrying over reading wise. So I have like a currently reading, and then when I finished a book, and then I started a book yesterday, so I'll add that in as well. So I'm still kind of playing around with my weeklies. It usually takes me like a month or so to kind of find my rhythm. January is always like a tester month for me to figure out what sticks and what doesn't. And then I set up my weeks every like Monday morning. So I'm not going to do that unless I have extra time, then I'll do it. But I did want to show, I mentioned this in my last live. I've been doing a scrap a day, which is where I find like basically something that represents that day, and I have this little punch, and I've been making this little like tiled section. So I have a couple that I haven't put in yet, so I'm gonna quickly put those in. This has just been so fun. Originally I was gonna make a yearly like 2-page spread at the back of the planner and do this, but I quickly realized that with the size of the punch, it's going to take up so many pages. So I decided to do it monthly. And then I thought I was going to do it, because the Undated has this like blank page at the front. I thought I was going to do it here, which you can kind of see I started. But then I thought last year I did like a memories like scrapbook page of like photos from that month. I'm going to do that on this page, and then my dot grid page is going to be my little tiles. And we're going to see how that works. If I have to switch it, I'll switch it. But anyways, it's been so fun to try and find like little scraps every day. I'm just using a glue stick, but you could also use like double-sided tape, which I think would work better for some of the like waxy paper. Oh, yeah. This is the punch. Just a little hexagon. I got it on Amazon. I'm sure you could find it at like Michael's or a craft store. But it's been really fun. I think it's like a cute way of remembering your month through like your junk. Junk journaling is like a really popular thing, and I'm not ready to commit to like full junk journaling, but this is like a mini way, and I think the little tiles are so fun. I think at the end I'm gonna like fill in like around the punches with the color of that month, just to like kind of frame it. I think that will be fun. But yeah, that's where we're looking right now. And then I'm just gonna flip to, I have to fill in my mosaic. This is so fun. People put this in our Discord channel. I've seen it a few times actually on the Discord channel, people talking about setting it up, and I thought it was such a fun idea, so I made a printable of it. And you get like the 2 pages, which you can put the mosaic on either side. Like you can, if you want the mosaic on the side or the side, that's up to you. And yeah, you can like fill in what categories you want. I did genre, length, source, and format. And you just like fill in per book that you do, which I think is so fun. But I do have to fill one in, so I need to figure out. I think it's gonna be so fun to see this come together at the end of the year. Someone shared in the Discord, I think it was yesterday, that they made like little attributes that like go in the center. I forget what they all were. If someone remembers that saw it, put it in the chat. But I thought it was like such a fun idea. I'm not sure if I'm gonna add those or not, but like you could do like a circle in the middle if you like are doing a reread or something, or like if it was a 5-star read. I just think that's fun. So I might add those, but I'm kind of playing around with what I want to do. I think I probably should have picked more complementary colors. I just like pulled random markers and went with it. But it's just for fun. Okay, there's book 2. A Square was a reread, Something was a book club, series, reread, and translation. Yeah, so I think I'm still playing around with it, but I think I'm going to do something for maybe a circle if it's a reread. I might do like a star if it's a 5-star read. And then I'll have to see if I can come up with another one. But I just think it's like a fun little addition to this. So anyways, love the idea of the reading mosaic. I haven't added anything else in the back because I like to give myself some room for the rest of the year as I come up with ideas, and I see people come up with ideas because you guys are so clever and I always want to steal your ideas. Anyways, I mentioned the thing I wanted to work on today was repurposing the author backlist page. And my idea for this page is to turn it into a checklist of all the books on my shelf that I have to read. Like, I haven't read unread books on my shelves. And I'm going to put them all in, and then I've kind of categorized them how I have them set up on my shelves by genre. And so I'm going to put, like, if it's romance, and then the books. I'll have multiple for genres, but anyways, I thought originally I was going to do that on the little bookshelf because I don't really ever need to use this because I don't read enough. But then I thought I don't really have a purpose for the backlist, and I love a checklist. Like, I love a checklist. So I'm going to try it and repurpose it. I don't repurpose things a lot, so we're going to try it this year. I have this like little piece of paper that I cut out that will cover the title. So I'm going to tape that in. It's not going to be perfect because you'll still see like the coil, but like I don't care and it's my planner. So I'm going to like write my title over top and then fill in all the books. And we'll go from there. I think it's so fun that even though like we have this like base of a planner, like you can still make it your own. And if you like don't want to track an author backlist, or if you don't reread books, or if you're like me and you don't pre-order books, like you can still find ways to use the pages. I think it's so fun to see that. And if you have repurposed a page, I would love to hear. I'm probably going to add like that purple stripe that will be seen in the coil across the title to try and like cover it. probably isn't going to be perfect and I'm going to need to trim it, but that's okay. So now, I'm going to find, it probably won't be a very good color match, but oh, I have my ruler. I was like, where's my ruler? It's literally right there. Does anyone else do that? I swear I'm losing my mind sometimes. For all the people who are organizing your desk, how is that going for you? Actually, when I made the playlist page, the intention was actually for audiobooks, and then I was like, or you could use it for music or like whatever you're listening to, podcasts or whatever. And then I think because I do it for music, people think like that's like the purpose of it, but the actual intention was for tracking audiobooks or just things you listen to. So it's always funny when that like kind of comes around. But I do love that it's been inspiring people to listen to more audiobooks because there are some fantastic audiobooks out there. I love that it adds like a whole nother element to reading. Especially when there's like multiple narrators, it like brings the story to life. When I listened to Daisy Jones and the Six, it like that book like changed my life with audiobooks, like brought the whole story to life. Let's see. I just put a picture of my stack of Kindle covers in the Discord. I can't wait to see. I'm excited. On the books to reread page, I changed the R in reread to B and use it as a list of books I want to get to. I do this instead of the 26 and 26 challenge. That's fun. I'm going to change my pre-orders page to a on my radar page, which is basically like if I like hear of a book, like whether it's like mentioned in the Discord or if I see it on Book Talk or Instagram or someone talks about it to me in a bookstore, something like that. I want a place I can just like quickly jot down like all these books because I always like forget about them. So I'm gonna do like a on my radar like kind of checklist, and then if I do read them, I'll check them off. And then for the books to reread, I'm gonna change that to, I saw someone else do this. It's a like new authors to me. So like anytime I read a book by a new author, I'm gonna put their name in it, and I think it'll be fun to see how many new authors I read in the year. But as I mentioned, this one is going to be Read My Shelves. So I'm gonna put that title in there. Figure out spacing. Do I want to do pencil? No, we're gonna just go for it. For anyone asking about the Discord, I will put a link to it on the Facebook group after this so that you can join. or if someone else wants to put the link to the Discord in the Facebook group while I'm doing this, because I don't know if YouTube will allow you to share links or not. But either way, I'll make sure it's there. Okay, I wrote down a list of all of the books on my shelves, so I'm just gonna flip to that so I have it handy. Our Discord literally is the best. I love our Discord so much. When the Facebook group chat shut down, I was so sad, and I was like, oh, it's never going to be the same. But I actually like the Discord way better. And I feel like we've expanded to so many different areas and connections, and I just think it's like such a fun community now. But anyways, what I said is I'm going to like put the color of the genre as the background here. And I'll probably like write romance. And then I'm going to just fill in the titles. And I think that will be cute. I also didn't think I would like the theme rooms of Discord. I really don't like change. And I was really hesitant to switch to Discord. I didn't think I would like it. And then now that I've been using it for a while, I really love it. And I love the different rooms and like things that people can chat about and things that people connect over. One of the things I'd like to do in 2026 is read more of the books that I own on my shelves. And I'm hoping that having a little checklist will be a fun way to do that. I just did like a giant unhaul of my shelves because there's just a lot of books I knew I wasn't ever gonna get to, or I knew I wouldn't read again, or I didn't care for them and just wanted to like not have them anymore. Anyways, did a giant unhaul. I think it was like over 60 books or something. And it felt so good to just like clear them out. I'm doing a like book themed pop-up market in February, and it's like the person who runs it does it like does like a whole bunch of books for sale, and then all the proceeds go towards an organization that helps like local youth. And anyway, so I'm like donating my books to her to get rid of them, and I was just like, she like was really excited about it, but also I was just like, no, like you're helping me so much, I need these out of my house. This year one of my goals was to like declutter our house. Like I have boxes in our basement from when we moved like 4.5 years ago that like haven't ever been unpacked, and I'm like, why do we have these things? I clearly don't need them. So I find in the winter I get in that mindset where I just am like, I think because I feel like kind of stuck because of the weather, I'm like, I might as well do all the inside things. So this year I'm hoping I can kind of declutter room by room. Out with the old. was just looking and like on the camera, like this purple doesn't look too bad. It's exciting. Okay, so like that's one section, but I'm not done with my romance, so I'm gonna do like another section. And my theory is that even if I don't like completely fill, like if I need like 2.5 sections or 3.5 sections, then I'll have extra room for if I like acquire books, then I can put them on and check them off. I don't know, I just love any excuse to check things off. The amount of checklists that I have on the go at any given moment is probably insane. So I love our little notepads so much because I have one notepad like in front of me on my like little shelves there, and then I have another one to my side there, and then I have another one in my cart, and they're all different. But it just helps organize my mind. It's like always going a million different ways. Is that pink number 95? Yes, it is number 95. Look at you knowing your like shades of pink. That's such a like Becca thing to do. That's so funny. But yeah, I love this shade of pink. It's really pretty. I actually have come to really like these Ohuhu markers. I think I just love how many different colors there are. They're not great for using with my like Tombow marker. These, like if you go over a pen or something, they do tend to bleed a lot more. So I like to put the color down first if I know I'm using these. But like the mild liners work so well with other pens. So if I know I'm like gonna do something, I'll still use the mild liners. But in terms of like adding color or just like filling in a chart or something, I really like the different colors I have for the Ohuhu. There's a very high probability I'm going to misspell something while doing this. I just bought some new wax highlighters to match the cover. Tell me more. I'm intrigued. also love a matchy moment, as we all know. Okay, I only have 3 more on my romance list, but I'm gonna do another category anyways, because like I said, if I like acquire new books that sit on my shelves and I don't read right away, I can add them. Quick question, are the digital printables that we buy on the site made to be printed on 8.5 by 11 or A4? They're designed to be printed on 8.5 by 11, but you have to make sure that you have it set to, I think it's like default or whatever. It's like not gonna change the size. Like if you have it fit to page, it will change the size of the printable. And so every printer has a different like kind of like normal setting where it's like don't change the settings or whatever. It has to be printed at that where it's not going to change the size. And then there's like cut lines on the page, and kind of depending on your printer, you might have to trim a little bit extra of the cut lines to make it like fit with the coil, but it will give you like a guideline of where to cut it, if that makes sense. Okay, that's all the romance ones. They're like this gel, waxy consistency and don't bleed because they don't interact with ink at all. I need you to tell me what those are because I'm very intrigued. Put them in the Discord or something. Okay, now we're gonna do fantasy. Grab my fantasy color. When I was compiling this list yesterday, I was like, oh man, this is way more books than I thought I had, but like haven't read. So I really need to like prioritize reading the books I already own, which is hard when there's so many fun books coming out. It's the struggles of a reader, I guess. Oh, this title is so long. I'm not going to be able to fit it all. I'm loving the look of this spread so much. Yeah, I think it's so cute, right? Like, kind of really happy with it. Also, when I do stuff like this, it kind of like inspires me for like future planners or printables and whatnot, because I kind of see like how I use it, how people engage with it. That's where the bingo and Tetris came from. Is I like had them in my planner last year and got such a like positive reaction from them that I was like, this will be so fun to just like add in the planner. Some of these books I like acquired super recently, like Brimstone I got for my birthday, but like there's other books I've had on my shelves for like years that I just either can't get rid of because I have heard good things about it or whatnot. But hopefully this year I can knock off a bunch of these. I know I won't get to all of them because there's a bunch of like new books, and as a mood reader I never know what I'll do, but it'll be nice to have them all listed. I don't know what it is about this January, but I've been feeling like super inspired lately. Like I don't want to stop working, which is really different than like other winters. Usually I'm feeling like really burnt out at this time of year, but I think because we did the planners so early, I think it like allowed me to have a rest. So now I like come back January, I'm like ready to go. I've got so many ideas and I'm like excited. I would really love if we could keep that going. I'm looking at a list. I wrote them all down yesterday because I figured you guys wouldn't want to be looking at the back of my head while I looked at my shelves. So I decided to write them all down. I think the fantasy section will probably be the biggest. I do have an Amazon storefront actually. It is, if you are on my Instagram, and I have a highlight that's called Pens and Supplies, I think. It's saved there, and it has, I don't know if I've I haven't updated anything this year, but I definitely have like a bunch of the supplies that I frequently use on there. I should probably check it and see if there's anything else I need to add. need to switch pages on my list. Too many. Another super long title. Someone explained to me, speaking of book titles, like, you know how fantasy books, especially romantasy books, right now are like a blank of blank and blank, you know? Like, it all started with like A Court of Mist and Fury, but like, why is like every fantasy book follow that pattern now? Where is the originality? It just feels like every book that comes out is like that now. That's probably being really dramatic, but you know what I mean. I think publishers try to match trends and all that. I agree. I just wish they wouldn't. Publishers are kind of the worst. And, like, we don't give them enough heat for the things they do. Like, copying, like, using, like, the book title as a blank of blank, but also they are responsible for, like, take, like, Carly Fortune. Like, all of her books have historically been paperback, and then now her newest one is going to be launched in hardcover. Or like they'll decide midway through that they need to do a cover change, or they need to change the height of the books, even though they've done all their other books in the same size. And why, as a community of readers, do we not be like, hey, enough is enough. Stop doing this. We hate it. But no. I'm over it. I don't think that she did change publishers. I just feel like because she's like gained so much popularity, they want to, like, cause hardcovers cost more money. I feel like it's all just a money thing, and it makes me so mad when people prioritize profits and not user experience. That was my little rant of the day. You're welcome. Feel free to tell me all of the things that bother you about publishers. It doesn't have to be specifically about publishers, but if you have something you'd like to get off your chest, this is a safe space. Yes, the way they treat authors is atrocious. Also, like, this whole, like, conversation about, like, Amazon and AI that authors, like, can't opt out of. It's just, I'm tired. I totally agree. The traditional publishers, like, it started when I read Quicksilver, actually. So I read it on my I have Kindle Unlimited, and so I read it I want to say last year, maybe it was 2 years ago. I read it, and then you get to the end of the ebook on Kindle, and the very last page is like, book number 2 is coming out this fall. And I was like, perfect, because this was September. So I was like, I barely have to wait. I'm so excited. I can immediately jump into book 2. And then I like go to like look it up and come to find out that it's not going to be published for like more than a year. And I was like, why are we keeping this page in the ebook? Like, people thinking it's going to come out when it's not. Anyways, I was unimpressed. I'm very happy for her that she got traditionally published. Great for her. Sucks for me. But that's fine. It's not all about me. I know that. I have The Name of the Wind on this list, but I don't know if I ever want to read it because I just feel like the third book is just never going to come out. And I don't know that I want to get invested in a series that I know probably will never finish. I also found out a series I started that was indie published for the first 2 is now trad for the rest. The author already said the books will be re-released and the physical books won't match. I wish that authors would fight more for that. I don't know the ins and outs of publishing, so like I could be completely speaking like about things I know nothing about, so like grain of salt. But I wish that like I don't know if they can, but it would be nice if someone could like if they go from indie to traditional, if they like had something in their contract of like matching covers or sticking to release dates that they've already promised readers that have like found them as an indie. So I don't know like I don't know if they can do that. I don't know if that's a thing, but I wish that it was. Maybe I need to start a series, just rants with Megan. Just kidding. I think this world has enough negativity in it. I don't need to add to it any more than I already have today. I'll be first in line for that. Get it out, let it out, and then move on. That is actually something that Scott and I have, like, where we, like, if we have something going on, like, let's say someone is, like, mean to me on the line or something, then we have, like, where we can, like, vent about it or cry about it or, like, be angry about it, and we get all the feelings out. And then after it's out, like, we're moving on, like, you know what I mean? Like, and then it's, like, nice to have that, like, release and, like, get everything out that you want to say, even if it's not rational. and then you can like move on and be like, okay, like now, like I'm time, like here's my limit, like enough is enough, time to like move past it. And it's like, it is very healing to do that. I don't like when the font on the page is weird. Like sometimes they try a new font. I totally agree. Sometimes fonts just don't work. How could anyone be mean to you online? You're the nice person. That's so nice. If you could just broadcast that to everyone else, that would be lovely, because I don't get a lot, but the odd email is definitely... I didn't get any this year, actually, which I was really shocked about, but like every year I'll get at least one email telling me that I like ruined someone's Christmas because their package didn't arrive on time. And it always comes on Christmas Day, which is also my birthday. And so I've learned that I can't look at my email on that day, because like there have been way too many tears shed on that day because of things people say to me. So now I like, when I take time off, like during the holidays, I like turn the email off on my phone so that it doesn't like pop up and ruin my day. But yeah, it's wild. I think a lot of people just like need someone to blame for something, and more often than not, I tend to be that person, which is fine. I've like learned over the years that not to take it personally, but sometimes you can't help it. Like, we're only human. I feel things just like everyone else does, but yeah, it's wild what people will say behind a keyboard that I don't think that they would say to my face. Maybe they would. I don't know. For the most part, though, I will say, like, there's always going to be exceptions, but I think I have the best customers in the world. So, for, like, the very, very tiny percent that is mean, I have so many more people that are, like, loving and encouraging and, like, show up for me in ways I, like, can't even fathom. So, like, those are the people I tend to focus on. And the other people, like, they can send their email, but I'm gonna just focus on people like you guys who show up to me. I do have so many fantasy books. I do lean more towards romance, but the ones on my shelves, like, I've read more of them, whereas fantasy, I like am carrying over from when I used to read fantasy more. Like, that used to be my most popular genre, so like they've been on my shelves longer unread, if that makes sense. But I'm almost done. I think I only have 3 more. Scott literally drove a U-Haul with orders. Don't let them get to you. Yes, he did. He's amazing. I have Alchemist on my list. I bought it last year, and I'm like really intimidated by the size, but I've heard like so many people talk about how good it is. So like, it's my goal this year. Like, someone needs to hold me accountable and be like, keep pestering me to read it or something. I'm also gonna put the 2 books that I bought yesterday, even though they haven't been on my shelves that long. Okay, that's all my fantasy. You guys are so nice, honestly. I only have 3 historical fiction, which works out perfectly for this little box right here. I'll hold you accountable. I finished it and it changed my brain chemistry. Oh, I love that. That's like all the incentive I need. I'm not going to get to it this month, I can tell you that much, but maybe I'll try and tackle it in February. Speaking of, that just reminded me, I need to put out the poll for the February book club. So when I'm done this, someone send me a message on Discord or wherever and say, Megan, put the poll out. Because I've been sitting on it for days and I keep forgetting to do it. I don't know if like the Night Circus is considered historical fiction, but that's where I have it on my shelves, so that's where it's gonna stay. I think it could kind of fit in fantasy as well. Megan, you have Conform on your list. I just picked it up yesterday. I saw it in the bookstore and I've heard really, really good things about it. And I think, I want to say the prequel comes out soon. And anyways, I'm intrigued. So I'm very excited. I think I have like 2 more sections to go. This is working out so well because my mystery section has 5 books and this little section has 5 books. So many of these books are books that I picked up at like a used bookstore or something like that and couldn't resist like how cheap they are. In my old hometown, there was my favorite used bookstore ever, and they had this like program where if you like brought them books, you got like store credit, which is not uncommon for used bookstores, but I had like, you like give you like a little card with like the amount, and you could use that to get 50% off your purchase, like the next one. And so many of the books on my shelves are books that I bought there, like getting these like deals of like random books I saw on like a YouTube channel, and I saw them and was like, I know nothing about this book except that I saw someone talk about it, so I'm gonna grab it because it's only a couple dollars. And then they sit and I don't read them. Do you guys have like a favorite bookstore in your area? Used or indie or whatever? I don't really have anything like where we live now, but I have a bunch on my list of stores that we have like wholesaled to in not our immediate area, but like if we ever travel within Canada, that I like want to go specifically to go to these bookstores. How far have you gotten in Bury Your Bones? I think I'm only like 15% in, something like that. Not very far, but loving the audiobook narrators. Julia Whelan is one of my favorite narrators. I will love pretty much any book she does. She does a lot of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books, and I don't know, just something about the cadence of her voice just works for my brain. Okay, one more section. Except now I need to figure out what color I use for contemporary. In the back of my planner, I have like all my color swatches so I can like keep track. And it is so handy. So intrigued by the new Novel Companion Ultra. Any hints you can give us on the changes you made? There's not that many changes. I think I added a couple of pages, like the Tetris and the bingo are included now. I updated all the reading challenges, and I love the cover so much. And actually, you've already seen a sneak peek of the cover. You just maybe don't know it. But I am excited for it. I'll have to like look back. It's been so long since I did the updates. I'm gonna have to like find my notes on what I all updated in it. But that is on our way, and I am really excited for it to finally arrive because it was kind of delayed because of the holidays. And anyways, very excited. Contemporary is kind of my like catch-all. If I don't know where to put it, I put it in contemporary. And I only have 3 books here. Winter Garden, which is on my TBR for January. Not sure if I'll actually get to it, but I would like to. I've heard really good things about it. And then I have Truly Madly Guilty, which I picked up at a used bookstore for like $1, and it's hardcover. And I just thought, why not? And then same with this next book. It's called Falling. I think it's about like I want to say like a plane crash or a plane goes missing or something like that. I got it like really cheap, and I was really intrigued by the synopsis. Okay. Here we are. It's cute, right? I'm so excited to have a list to check off. And I have like another section that like if something comes up I can like add to it. And then I have a couple like in romance and fantasy if I add to it. But overall, I'm really excited with how this turned out. To clear a notification, sorry. Very happy with that. I think I'm gonna leave it here for now, and the other pages that I was gonna change, I'll either change on a different live, or I'll just like maybe post it on my Instagram or the Discord or something, because they're not as exciting. But eventually I will be changing the pre-orders page, and I'm also gonna change this books to reread, but it's just the titles, so it's like nothing too exciting. I'm just gonna like literally like check them off like with a check mark, like nothing too exciting, because I already have like the genre color. I'm just gonna do a check mark. Anyways, that is everything I got for you. Unless anyone has any questions or anything they would like to see or talk about, let me know. I feel like this was a really fun live. I don't know that I got like that much done, but I'm really excited that I got like a new spread done. I was really excited to like write out all the list of books that I have to get to. I know I won't get to them this year, but it will be fun to see how far I can get. I'm trying to not put any pressure on myself this year, reading wise or life wise, because we don't need that. I think for the most part, I do need to, one day I need to color in my shelves, so I could also do that on another live. Are there any books you're excited to get to first? Off this list, Alchemize is definitely on my radar. I'm actually currently reading Mate. I just started it last night, but I'm only like 20 pages in, so I've heard really good things about One Golden Summer, so I'm really excited about that one. Brimstone is like on my like kind of closer to get to. Same with We Who Will Die and Conform, because I just picked those up, so they're kind of like new to me. Like I mentioned, Winter Garden's on my January TBR, so hopefully I'll get to that one. But otherwise, it will kind of be like whenever the mood strikes. But I like that I just have like a list now to see physically, like you need to read these. But yeah, maybe I'll do another live. I'll have to see what my schedule looks like, and I'll talk to Megan about when she wants to do her planner party on Zoom. And we'll kind of coordinate on schedules then, but I'll maybe try and do one for February. I'm not gonna track anything in the boxes. I'm just gonna check them off because I already have the genres, and that's kind of what I track. So it's just gonna be a checklist. Easy, simple. You could put like format or something, or like you could do a key for like star rating, but I think I'm just gonna check them off. Keep it simple. But anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining this plan with me. I always have so much fun when we get to like do it together and chit chat, and you guys can like talk things through with me. It's so much more fun than when I just like, I mean, it's always nice to like just work on my planner, but I like when we get to do it together too. So I appreciate you being here. And yes, let's do a planner coloring day, 100%. I also thought about like just going live one day and working in my coloring book, just as like kind of a chill. I just feel like it's so nice to like take time and do something for yourself. So I'm gonna try and do more of those if I can fit them in. So yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. I am gonna go get some of my hobby things out and light a candle and make a tea and have a cozy rest of my day. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And yeah, thank you for being here. And I'll see you in my next one.